Hi, my name is Adam Cooper and I'm a realtor with the Bagogloo team Preapproval. And today I'm going to be talking to you about buying a home. Often when I come across someone buying a home, they've often done a lot of research and maybe you've even seen a home that would like to go and see, but as it comes to the actual purchasing of the home, they don't actually know the steps that are involved. So that's one of the questions I often get is, well, what do I do next? So I'm going to basically make this short video which is going to break down the buying steps into 5-ish simple steps. Step 1 is finding an agent. Your agent is a very important part of your real estate experience. Your agent is there to negotiate, to search homes for you, to guide you, and to basically give you an update on what's happening within the market. So when you get an agent, you are getting a licensed professional who is there to solely represent you. Representation is an important expression in our industry. What that means is whose client is whose. So often if you go into an open house, or you go into a new construction show home, or you call a listing agent, those three people are representing the seller, or in the new construction case, the builder. Those agents aren't there to represent you, they're there to represent the seller. So they're not going to help you. So at that point, all they're going to do is give you information, but when it comes down to structuring an offer, they cannot guide you. So that's why having your own buyer representation is so important. Now when you come to choose your agent, you should be asking them, how long have they been licensed? How many sales do you do a year? And those things are really your indicators of how active is this person. Because the more active they are within the market, the more knowledge they are going to have. Realistically, you should be looking for at least a minimum of 12 sales in a year, because that's one a month. Ideally, you want something like 2, 3, 4, because the higher the volume of sales they've done, the more active they've been. So they're going to have a better idea of what's going on in the market and things that you should be aware of, maybe the area, or just generally take advantage of the experience that they have. Step 2 is getting pre-approved. Now this is probably the most important step of all the steps, because without being pre-approved we don't know what you can afford. So we need to find out what you can afford and basically make sure that when you are buying a home, you're not buying not more than you can afford, but more than you feel comfortable with. Remember, you buy a home, you buy a lifestyle too, so you don't be in a situation where you bought a house, but now you can't do any of this stuff you like to do. So you can't go out for dinner, you can't travel, and those things, while home ownership is a very good thing, being house poor and not being able to have a life will, take some of the joy out of, living in your home. So meeting with a mortgage expert to help find out what you can afford is usually a very, very good way to go. Now, a good realtor will have what I refer to as a real estate team. So that will be a group of professionals they will recommend or use regularly because they have a high level of skill, or they just provide good services. So for myself, I have a banker, a lawyer, a home inspector, a well and septic inspector, contractors, home stagers, and I use these people because when I have something that goes wrong or someone needs good advice, I can refer you to them because they will take excellent care of you. So step 3 is going to be searching for your home. So what normally happens is the realtor is going to sit down with you and they're going to basically ask you some questions to find out what is important to you. So that can be anything from how far from work do you want to be, where is a location where all your family are, what is a particular place that you would like to live or be close to. Like a lot of people may say, I want to be in the west end of Halifax. Well, if you want to be in the west end of Halifax, it's no good me showing you homes out in Sackville, because at that point we're miles apart from where you want to be. So the idea is that your agent's going to find out as much as they can about you and what's important to you, and then help you find your home from there. The other thing they're going to consider is the resale value. Obviously picking a home that is very affordable or low in price because it's in a very bad part of town is not a good way to go. Yes, you can get a nice house that's cheap, but your resale is going to be very, very low. So your agent is going to advise you through all those steps as you go through the process. One thing that a lot of buyers often worry about is how many showings am I doing. Sometimes they feel like they're doing too many. The average person is going to take between 12 and 20 before buy a home, but realistically, whether you take 25 or you only take 10, it is your journey to you buying a home. So take as many as you need, but just remember that if you see one that you like and then you wait and you move on, you might miss out. So I always say, you're the masters of your own domain, and if this is the one for you, then go for it. Step 4, making an offer. A lot of people start to get nervous or scared when they get to this point, but it actually is a good thing because you're at the point where you're going to obtain that home that you've been thinking about for so long. So what you need to remember is when you write an offer, it can go one of three ways. It can be accepted, meaning the offer that you put to the seller has been accepted outright. It can be rejected, meaning the sellers do not like your offer. Or it can be countered. Now it's usually when the offer is countered that negotiations are going to start. At that point, your agent who's representing you is there to make sure that you get the terms that you want, or as close to it, and then everyone will agree on those terms, and now you have an accepted offer. During the offer stage, there are sections full of clauses in the offer that are there to basically protect the buyer. And they're going to be things like a deposit, financing, inspection, and PCDS, closing date, lawyer review. And as we go through the clauses, we're going to start to remove them so that the offer can become firm. Once the offer is firm, you will have bought a home. Now, one thing to remember is during the offer stage, like especially on the inspection, something may come up which you may need to have, an item needs to be repaired, or there might be a reason why you need to, talk to the sellers or renegotiate with the sellers. During that time, it's again the knowledge of the home inspector and the agent that you are using where it's most important. Because how you structure or go about those renegotiations is very, very important. They could be the difference between you losing that house and you keeping that house. So that's why having skillful representation is very important. Step 5, closing. Now this is technically a two-part thing, so just bear with me. So prior to closing, you're going to want to make sure that you've got your power and your heat and your water set up, so then when you take possession, your utilities are connected. And also, just before closing, speak to your banker and your lawyer and make sure that they have everything they need in order for the transaction to close. On closing day itself, you're going to meet with your agent, usually in the morning, and you're going to do a final walkthrough to basically inspect the property and make sure everything is how you want it to be. So if there was, for example, something you wanted dealt with on inspection, just make sure that's been done and that it's to your satisfaction. Then you are either going to go and meet your lawyer and say, we're happy with everything and we'd like to close, or sometimes if you've already done that part, you will call your lawyer and then see and advise him that he can release funds. Once the funds have exchanged hands, the property will close and you now have your first home. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact us on our information below. Please like, comment and subscribe to our channel, and please share this video with anyone you think would find useful. Thank you very much for watching.